Hello everyone, KW here, and welcome back to another episode of Book Talk. And I almost messed up what I was gonna say, but luckily I catch it. But anyways, yes, welcome to another episode of Book Talk, where today, this one's gonna be a very, very special one because I will be talking about actually spoilers. I try not to talk about a whole lot of spoilers because I want people to get interest in the series and don't have anything to get upset when they know spoilers or something like that. um because it's not really fun once you know all the spoilers. I mean, there are times where maybe it's okay to know spoilers. Just depends on the person though. But yeah, so if you don't want spoilers, I recommend get out of this video right now because we're definitely gonna be talking about spoilers. And the reason why, as you can see from the title, we're talking about the final book of Maximum Ride series. Maximum Ride Forever. And this is the book I'm talking about. I am covering a little bit of it because it does have the location on it, and I don't want people to uh the location. So this is a library book. Anyways, so what are the pros and cons? And let's talk about what I felt about Maximum Right. Now, of course, you're gonna say, whoa, 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 hold up, technically, this isn't the last book because we have two other books, which I will go get into that. Um, Later, but right now we're going to just talk about the pros and cons, and now we'll explain that. So, what are the pros and cons? Um, Honestly, the pros are they actually did kill off some characters. They're not the biggest main characters in the series or anything like that, but they were part of the main character and the main character's friends or family's life. So they actually did genuinely have killed some people. Um, I know people are kind of sad at the fact none of like the main characters die or anything, or when they died, they come back to life. Yeah, I can see why people do not like that. Honestly, I think people might did not like the fact that in this book where they did try to kill off the characters, they didn't. That's what's gonna happen. I honestly was one of those people who actually didn't look up spoilers for this book. The reason why is because I thought it was just going to keep going down, 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 downhill, and there's not going to be a good ending. It's just going to be a sad ending where everything is ending, and that's the end. Which, those stories can be good and all. Like, there are genuinely good stories that has that sort of type of ending. But with Maximum Ride, at least to me personally, I don't think um them doing that is a way to kill off the characters. If you want to kill off the characters, go for it. Um, but not this way. I know technically, so in this book, the world is basically in these apocalypse world and everything, and they are trying to survive and adapt and everything like that. Because now there's like floods that cover most of the cities. There's not a lot of food and just other stuff as well. I try to remember all the descriptions about the places. Um, it's just basically, one of those not stereotype. Is it stereotypical? I don't know. If Jacob Butter is here, maybe he could say yeah that is stereotypical or not. Um, he has a pretty good judgment on that. Um, is kind of like your, I guess, typical um apocalyptic world of sorts. Like if it, as if it's like Last of Us or Walking Dead, Hunger Games, or Divergent. Yes, I have read the first book of Divergent. Um, there's not really going to be a book talk about that just because it was honestly that was not my kind of book, and I just feel like it was confusing with the story. I don't know what it's going for, romance or the future of the world. That's how I felt about it. It felt like it was trying to be Twilight, but also Hunger Games at the same time, and just didn't work. But that's how I feel about the Divergent. So there you go. That's your quick book talk of Divergent. Anyway, um, so another pro is that there is not really a voice anymore because the voice actually has been revealed in the eighth book. I am gonna say that, since we're talking about spoilers. So I'm really glad that is done and over with because I feel like the voice was really repetitive. I feel like it is unnecessary to have that. Honestly, to keep popping up and not figuring out who it is or whatever. You know, technically in like, yeah, book three, you thought you figure out who the voice was, but then it turns out not to be the actual voice or whatever, the perpetrator or whatever. And that was a pretty good plot twist, honestly. Um, so another pro, it did feel like it was the end, like because in the eighth book it definitely did end it, but it also had an open ending, where it's like, yeah, you could tell this is technically the end now. You don't really see where it is gonna go now. It's up to your interpretation of what's gonna happen with the flock and everything now after everything that happened in the eighth book. But I feel like this ninth book did resolve everything it needed to resolve. Because I feel like the eighth book did also left with questions, like what happened to Max's mom and her half sister, what happened to the actual world and everything. That, like, yes, it was the end, but like I had that sort of questions, like what's gonna happen now? Like, is this it? This is just the end? And like the ninth book, like halfway I was reading, I thought, is this really? This is how it's gonna end? Like everyone dies and the world is dead. Nothing ever is gonna happen anymore. Because like I said, I don't feel like that is a story of Maximum Ride. I feel like Maximum Rides, not more a story per se. I don't think that's a good way to explain it. It's just, that even the toughest times, there's some hope and you can prevail. Sort of it. That's what Maximum Ride speaks to me, at least. That's what I feel like. Like, even though you have these difficult times, these hard times, these hardships, um, you can figure out a way to prevail. And yeah, like even though I don't know if we can survive an apocalypse or not, even though there are some stories where it says, yeah, humans can't survive an apocalypse, just barely. With death and such, not a lot of humans, but they can still survive and live a life. I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Maybe. Who knows? We have to wait and see when we do have an apocalypse. Hopefully not. Please God, no. Hopefully not. But anyways, um like I said, so my pro said no more voice. The other pro did feel like it was actual the end of the Maximum Ride series. Yes, I know they're saying like 2 books. I will explain that later. Another thing is that it had so how many chapters in total? It has like 2 parts of the epilogue, but the actual last chapter, oh wait, I think it's 3 parts. There's 1293 chapters. And honestly, I think that's a good amount of chapters. It didn't feel like there was filler, honestly. There are some parts where like, does it really is that really important to the story? Um sure, there is definitely that. I will agree that there are some parts where it's like that. But not with this, but again, I feel like there's not a whole lot of fillers. There is a lot of action. There is a lot of sadness and, you know, trying to, you know, put your go for your goals or whatever, even though it's a apocalyptic world. Go for your goals even though it's an apocalyptic world. I don't know if that makes sense. um, but pro, it has a good ending. Um, another pro is that I really actually like how the flock, kind of like what happened in the first book, go to their separate ways, doing their own thing and everything. And that was pretty cool, I think, because like in the first book, we get to see what happened with Max, Thane, and Nudge, and then like Max went to do her own thing in the first book because something happened, and it's just now Thane and Nudge doing their own thing while Ghastly and Higgy was doing their own thing, and then that was pretty cool when that happened. And then like in book two, um, we can see a little bit of villain's perspective, which is not bad or anything like that, until like the Max clone. Yeah, that's the Max has a clone. But the Max clone died. um, so I honestly glad that she's gone because, I mean, that was also kind of weird that the Max clone was still around until she died. So that was pretty weird. Um, but honestly, I'm glad that she died, the clone, because I'm like, what? um, and so I really like that we're just now a whole different perspectives and see when they're doing and everything. And then you can see a little bit like the villain on the side, or like I don't know how to describe it. It was like a villain, but then it's not like a villain. That's a little bit complicated right there. Um, but there are some cons. So the first con is so major spoiler coming in. 3, 2, 1. How did Max find out that she was pregnant? And that is Fang's kid? Because all this time, she's trying to survive and everything, and, kicking butt or whatever. And then, it's like, suddenly towards the end, she's like, yep, I'm pregnant. And I'm just like, how did you figure out that you are pregnant? How? There were no hints to that. Like, there's nothing wrong with a character being pregnant and having a child. I think that's pretty cool. It's just came out of nowhere. I wish that could have been built up where she's like, I mean, I guess maybe before, spoiler, Fane went and left to do this whole thing because he found out he's gonna die or whatever. Um, Even though that's like, it's somewhat true, but also false at the same time. It's complicated. Basically, they keep saying like Fane is gonna be dead and he's gonna stay dead forever, but then he comes back. I always come back, says Fang. Ha ha ha. Banana friends, whatever. But I guess maybe when Fang up the left after hanging out with Max or whatever, saying that she is going to. I don't know. I'm actually going to check. Uh, let's see. This is like the whole. I'm trying to find it. Okay, so yeah. Okay, here it is. So chapter 18 before, and then the. Yeah, I don't. So chapter 18, maybe that's a point where you assume they did something to where Max get pregnant, the lovey-dovey stuff, I guess, but it didn't sound like it. It just sounds like they were just making out, and then Fane wake up after making out and it's like, yep, I'm time to go. Sorry for the silence. I was just trying to find that chapter and trying to figure it out. But yeah, that was a call of like, okay, fine, she's pregnant. Fine with that. But I feel like that could have been hints about that and everything. Leading up to the point where like, okay, yeah, she is pregnant. You with her are questioning, is she actually pregnant? And then when she, was like, oh my god, I am pregnant. Yeah, that could have worked, honestly, like way better. Another con I do have is, so this bad guy or whatever, the horseman or whatever, was kind of a little bit confusing. All honesty, I don't really like that villain very much. Honestly, don't really like that story plot. I think it could have done better. Maybe some improvement and everything. It was just like, um, because apparently the horseman is supposed to be, Dylan. Um, but then you have Dylan's point of view, where the horseman and Dylan's point of view were totally different, but they're supposed to be the same person. By the way, that's a spoiler. I should say that. That's just, what? I don't know. I feel like it could have been written better. Like, I can see why the author, wanted to keep it a secret to be like, oh, but it did not work out pretty well, honestly. It didn't work. I mean, yes, certainly I did look up spoilers for, this book, but like, I'm just saying, even with the spoiler, like, I'm just saying, I just think it could have written it better. So, like, I get it, because even though, how do I explain this? Like, yes, I did got spoilers for that, but honestly, I wish, like, the surprise could have done better, maybe drop hints or something like that, give you clues, but it didn't do that. You would think, oh, the horseman and Dylan are two separate characters, but no, they're actually the same character. So it's just like, then what's the point of writing two point of views where one is Dylan and one is the horseman, because they're the same person? So there's that. Another con that I also have is Max being so, I don't know what's the word. So forgiving, maybe. Like, so, honestly, somewhere during the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, in this book, there are times where Angel was being a butthead. I actually, she is literally my least favorite character. After the way she's treating the flock and everything, she is acting like she needs to be the boss and the leader and everything like that. Which I get it, that's supposed to bring tension and everything, but then you make her be the sweetest little girl again. Like, it feels like you can't decide. Do you want her to be this stubborn being, or actually a generally good person? Like, you can be stubborn and good at the same time, but it feels like Angel's character development keeps flipping. Almost like, is it Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Or is it no, I feel like it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I feel like that's right. It's sort of like that, but poorly written. I just wish, literally wish, that if they wanted to go with, yeah, Angel was sweet and kind, but over time she's gonna get more summer because she's fed up what Max is doing and everything. That could have been amazing. And I feel like it was there for a moment for a few books. But then, no, she keeps switching back and forth. And then Max gets so mad at Angel. But then when Angel says one or two things, Max like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, Angel. I should have listened to you. And I'm like, girlfriend, no! You shouldn't have demanded her to tell her why she's keep acting like this and everything. Like, I get it, Angel is like, you wouldn't listen and everything. Like, you, Max, you're the leader or for a reason of the flock. You need to tell Angel, like, you need to tell me what is going on because right now I'm sick of tired of you pretend, sick of tired of you of being this sweet, nice little innocent girl to being such an awful person. And I cannot decide, like, if I should trust you, not should trust you, or don't trust you anymore at this point. Just tell me what's going on with you. And then, then have Angel explain, and then Max being like, why could you tell me sooner? But don't understand, forgive her, being like, I am so sorry, I shouldn't listen to you, I'm sorry, yeah, you're a good person. Being like, okay, why can you just told me this? And be like, okay, right now, I'm mad at you, can't forgive you right now, and we need to fix this issue between us. And I will say am sorry for not listening to you much, but you gotta understand where I'm coming from. I just wish there was something like that. I know there's supposed to be. It feels like there is supposed to be this tension, but it keeps like switching back and forth. Like there's tension and no more tension, tension and more tension. I mean, yes, Max a few times being like, I don't know if I should trust Angel anymore because there have been a few times where she was being a brat, and that's good and all. But then once Angel says something and Max is just, ah. I mean, technically they're supposed to be kids, I guess. You can make that excuse. I don't know, but I feel like Max is like what around an adult now by this time with the ninth book. I feel like the brain development should have been complete or something because apparently your brain doesn't stop growing until you're like stop learning and computing or whatever till like the age of 22 or something. I honestly do not really. I mean, unless this is science factual or anything like that, then okay. But last time I checked, it wasn't. Your brain is still growing and learning until bye bye, So I don't know. But again, these are all the flock is supposed to be these enhanced humans with angel-like wings or feather-like wings, whatever you want to call them. They're supposed to be like avian hybrids or whatever, and hence why they have some birds extinct or whatever. But whatever. They're supposed to be, I mean, people have called them angels all the time and everything, and there's a kid named Angel, so just say. um, but yeah, I feel like there are times where X could have been smarter. I feel like some of the characters could have been smarter because like you, they've been experimented on, but it's whatever. Kids will be kids, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so here's the thing. Why do I say this is the officially last book when I keep saying, well, there are technically two more books? Um that's actually because the two books after the Max for My book series, you don't follow Max anymore. Max is a part of the story. She's just not the main character. No, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Whenever I said that Max was pregnant and had this child, yeah, the two books is about Max's daughter. So the way I think of it is supposed to be like a bit of a third arc or a bit of a spin-off. Yeah, so there's that. So you're probably like, what? Why is there so many more books? I think honestly, I see where the point. If this is technically the last book, then why make two more books about Max's kid and her point of view? I do understand that point. I honestly do not know either, but honestly, let's give it a chance and see where these two books go. So I think, let me check. I want to Google this one more time. Uh, here is the okay. So the first book is literally just called Hawk, and it's supposed to be about Max Payne's daughter, who is now technically a teenager. It has a different name because I guess she has amnesia or something like that, so she's now looking for her or whatever. And then the second book, um, City of Dead, I guess continues the story or whatever. But is City of the Dead the last book? Like, is he planning for more books? I guess let me just let's research this together, shall we? Is City of the Dead the last? Is the last Maximum Right book? What is the last book in the Maximum Right? Nevermore. Seriously. Is City of Dead for the Maximum? I guess nobody knows. Well, and then, well, wait, Goodreads says City of the Dead, Hawk #2, but I guess that means it's actually a new book series, like a spin-off series? I don't know. I don't know, I guess I have to read it. Hopefully I don't have to look up spoilers for this one again. Oh, wait, there is a Reddit a year ago talking about City of the Dead ending and discussion. Oh, wait. Actually, someone says, okay, I'm not gonna read this. Okay. Uh, I, okay, now it's confusing. They were just talking about it. Oh, so they're just like talking about it. Mm, I don't, what? Okay, this discussion is so confusing. I'm trying not to look at the spoilers. I don't. Hey, I'm so confused. Okay, well, I don't know. I will have to look into it more without looking into too much spoilers. But yeah, so who knows? So is Hawk, and then the next book, which is called City of the Dead, which is book 2 of the Hawk series, I guess. The actual ending of Maximum Ride or not? I don't know. I'll let you know when I read those 2 books and for book talk. But yeah, we finished Maximum Ride. And I'll see you guys next time. KW out. Goodbye.